excellent.
Thank you.
Just saying, up against fr0zen's featured match. Although, the Hunter was banned again. This makes me really upset. This is no longer my featured match. Take it off.
Should you take it off?
Probably not.
All right.
But part of the reason why I thought it was is look at what we have. 6 unique classes featured with the 7th unique class banned. That's what I want to see, TJ Azumacutie Sanders.
Yeah, we're guaranteed non-mirror matchups throughout the entirety of the series.
Protect the Highlander Paladin. Ban the weird aggro Reno Hunter. And then Sand, of course, protects Priest. Bans Priest like huge.
Yeah. So this is a very big matchup for these players because it's, in a sense, a battle for first place in the division. Saiyan has yet to play a match this week, so obviously that can change things. But fr0zen, with this win, would have 1 win over Saiyan, and his tiebreakers are pretty good. He's currently has the #1 tiebreakers with Saiyan still having 2 matches left to play, but it's only by 2 points. So there's a lot of weird things that can still happen as we move forward into this one, because they've also split their. If fr0zen wins, I believe they would have split their head-to-head, which means it would come down to tiebreakers. So it's
here we go, TJ.
Yeah, fr0zen lost to Saiyan in the first match that they played against each other. So fr0zen won. They would be tied in head-to-head, and
what on earth? Okay, so I went home and played 4 hours of this deck yesterday, TJ. I played like 15 games, 16 games. While watching some good old-fashioned playoff baseball. It was really exciting. The Highlander Paladin, I just was not getting the curves. And fr0zen just throws away. He just full mulligans against the 1, 2, 3. That makes me very upset. Because I feel like I was struggling to get the curve going every single game, and I'd be like, well, I have to hero power and do all those other things. That being said, the games that I did get the curve, TJ, I dominated. The games I didn't get the curve, I felt like I had to navigate some really tough turns in order to get there.
I feel like you just described all the Highlander decks in the current metagame.
Yes, except this deck doesn't feel nearly as flexible.
Yeah. You don't have kind of emergency buttons like some of the other classes do. Like, for instance, Reno the Relicologist. You can miss a curve and then use Reno to bail you out of a situation.
Yeah.
So Finley's not going to do that. Zephyrus obviously will, but Zephyrus is in every Highlander deck, so if we're comparing them, then they all have access to it.
This looks like... This is really hard for Drew to do it as is, and then you added a Noyo module on top of that. Saiyan might already be in trouble.
Yeah.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Be a long time before Zephyrus is active, and Saiyan realizing that by that time he's probably dead. Might as well use it to kind of fight for the board.
Well, that's where holding the Hogsty here actually might be really helpful for fr0zen, because you know, he was thinking about how even though he could play 2 power on the board versus 1 power, the Hogseed from hand makes it so he can answer things like the Crystal Merchant really efficiently. Had he had not got the Glowtron setup that he wanted. Is this just a Noyo module hit the face?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think about whether or not I actually want to acknowledge my opponent's board. I played a handful of this matchup in the caster play sessions, and some games I said, you know what, I'm just going to stop trying to trade, and I'm just going to go face like every opportunity possible, and I started winning more.
Let me think.
I mean, the deck does have a decent amount of damage from hand as well.
It's now an Ancient of War. This
With
is hard.
Divine Shield.
This is hard to deal with.
With Divine Shield and with the Death Rattle that summons minions.
I think Saiyan has to seriously consider playing Wardrobe Lodian, the Stealth Poisonous, if he wants to take it down. But I guess he has it next turn?
Yeah, in combination with Wrath as well, to be able to take out whatever else comes out.
Right. That's actually true. The Wrath, the Warrior Lodi is really good.
Yeah.
Glowstone Technician, though.
With 4 minions in hand. One of those being a Siamat. And Hogsteed, yep. 4-3 Hogsteed. Pretty good.
The Warrior Lodi is really nutty, though.
Yeah.
In this position.
But it isn't like fr0zen spent like a ton of resources to get to this board state. He just magnetized his curve onto 1 minion.
It's true, but by magnetizing it onto 1 minion, you also do something which is the equivalent of AoE yourself. Instead of spreading it wide, you stack it tall, and they just take it down.
Yeah. But, you know, both, if he had gone wider, maybe he's more vulnerable to Starfall. And he pushes less damage. Formerly fr0zen's featured matchup.
Well done. I am appeased. Spellbreaker is a 6/5 beaming sidekick, pretty strong. I think you just want to build a resilient board as much as you can.
Yeah.
Hogsteed is also something just as a 4/3 death rattle minion. You set up the Zephyrus lethal, because this is very much a Zephyrus lethal.
Yeah.
And Saiyan has to treat this with the utmost respect. This looks like a Starfall opportunity. Starfall Anubisoth.
Starfall Anubisoth. He could also Hidden Oasis Anubisoth.
Okay. I don't mind that.
I wonder.
He could also get greedy and nourish Anubisoth.
You know, the Hidden Oasis Anubisoth means Siamat gets insane.
Yes.
Because then you just rush Wind Fury and then you just push 12.
It's a one-of. He's going to make the safest of all the plays, and I don't blame him. Don't blame him at all.
I think it's fine. I think you might even want to drop the second defender. And I think if I'm fr0zen, I'm actually debating if I want to snipe both of them. Octo Daddy comes into the hand. You know, one thing we said before was that in the other regions, a total of 0 Octosari have been played.
Yep. And now we had 5 of them this week in Americas.
Oh yeah, we Wind Fury.
It still leaves an 8-2.
It feels so appropriate that when Siamat smacks something that the board shakes. I feel like that was one of the things that flavor-wise just makes sense. When Siamat hits the board, it should be a big deal.
Yeah.
Just look how jacked he is.
I don't think that picture even does it justice.
Well, yeah, because I think if you like look at the scale, like TJ, who is considered to be above average size of a human being, just you're like 6'3".
That's thank you, Dan, but
You're TJ
6'1" 3/4.
Okay. So DJ's 6'5".
Yep.
And he's
385 pounds. I'm an absolute unit.
Yeah, an absolute unit, to say the least. And he would be probably a blip in that little pink cyclone at the bottom of Siamat's robe, if you will.
And the benefit of Siamat is he doesn't have to care about skipping leg day because he doesn't have legs.
Is there a lethal opportunity here with Zephyrus? If you get, like, Blessed Champion? No, there's no way. Unless?
I don't think so, because how do you ever get through the Hidden Oasis?
I don't know.
Your wish is my suggestion.
fr0zen.
I mean, he could just push 20.
Wait, Savage Roar? Yeah, Savage Roar, right?
Savage Roar is
22.
Yeah. Black Knight just puts more stuff on the board.
True.
So you can push 22 and give up your Hogsteed, or you can Black Knight and push 20.
I like the Well, the Savage Ward lets him dump the cards in the hand so he can play Octosari.
Oh, yeah. It also allows him to put more health onto the...
Oh! Yeah. No, I take it back. This is still my featured match. I am loving what I'm seeing right now. Stack that CMI. 10-4. Oh, 8-4. Saiyan is in big trub. He is desperately looking for a Wrath and another Anubisoth. He needs exactly those 2 cards. Finds Wrath.
Okay.
Needs to find a Anubisoth now.
No, he's dead even if he finds a Nubisoth.
Okay, needs to find another Wrath. He already, yes, if he finds Wrath into a Anubisoth Defender, he is alive.
Oh, no, he already played the first Wrath.
Oh, you are correct.
So he needs...
That's it. He is dead.
And Dan, every deck that we've seen on stream that plays Octosari so far this weekend is undefeated. 2-0 for the Highlander Warrior and 2-0 for the Highlander Paladin so far. And the Hunters have been banned, so whatever.
I know, it's kind of a shame. I wanted to see some Octosari in the Hunter. Kind of a shame that we didn't get to see it being played, but he even had backup in case it went wrong.
Yeah.
So I like that Savage Ward play. Really well done. And it goes to show you the power of that deck. So we're going to take a break. fr0zen's up 1-0 with a win here. Will put himself in first place of Division B. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to this edition of Around the Fern with TJ and Just Saying.
Happy to be here.
Glad to hear it. So I've talked to this about you before. I've never heard you exclaim. So we have an hour in this room, and my goal is going to be to get you to exclaim.
That's just not going to happen.
It is going to happen. Imagine you're walking down the street. You just got lunch. It's a delicious burrito. You're hungry. You haven't eaten in 2 days. Then some guy walks up on the street, punches you in the face, and steals your burrito. You're out of money. You don't have cash. You didn't drive there. You walked there an hour. And now this guy comes up and punches you and steals your burrito. How do you react?
I don't even like burritos. I thank the guy and say, whatever. I was waiting for
What's your
Uber Eats
favorite
anyway.
food?
I mean, it has to be something with rice, but like, I kind of like risotto. The Italian style is very nice.
Italian style risotto. Now imagine you're walking down the street, you get your Italian risotto, and then a guy comes up to you, punches you in the face, and steals your risotto. What do you do?
Actually, I just...
Do you yell? Do you
I
scream?
get confused. I'm mad.
You're mad, so you
But-
want to yell.
But then I think this guy probably needs it more than me. I don't think it's physically
Let's say you're in a
possible for me.
giant field and you're strapped to a chair. The only person that can save you is 1,000 yards away. If you don't yell to them to communicate to them, you're going to sit in that chair forever because that's the only other person on earth. Do you yell to them to save your life?
I mean, if he's the only other person on Earth, do I like this guy? Are we friends even?
He's blind.
I just admit that this is the end. Last person on Earth. I don't know about, like, is his personality nice? Like, is he fun to hang out with? Or
Can we play a game?
yeah, we can play
I'm
games.
going to say a word, and you have to say it slightly louder. Risotto. 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 Risotto! Risotto!
Risotto.
Welcome back, everyone. fr0zen's currently up 1-0 in the battle for first place for Division B. The first place spot will earn a bye for the first round of playoffs going into next weekend's festivities. The winner of playoffs will get the final spot at Global Finals for the region. In Season 1, it was PNC from Team Genji. Who will be in Season 2, we'll find out with myself, Admirable, and Sottle. TJ won't be joining us next week, but we'll still be holding down the fort. Last week, it was my turn to disappear, and you get a nice break.
Yes, I do.
As you will. As we go into game number 2 here, Saiyan is going to be playing the Druid, and fr0zen's going to turn to his other Highlander deck. It's a 1-2 combo. This happened yesterday. fr0zen just plays a Highlander Paladin, then plays Highlander Mage or Reno Mage. Gets Reno the Relicologist, an important card, but part of what makes the Mage good against the Druid in certain scenarios is Conjurer's Calling. I think that's a really important card to have. However, fr0zen doesn't really have a lot of good ways to curve into it just yet. My big criticism against Reno Mage decks is I think that they just are super heavy in the mana costs, and a lot of times you're stuck past the first few turns.
Yeah, and Druid loves that.
Druid loves it.
Because they also passed their first few turns, but in doing so, they are very much so rewarded with their quest being completed and all of their Choose One cards being incredibly powerful. fr0zen does have a lot of good tools to try to fight back. Obviously, the Mind Control tech, which is just picked up. Reno the Relicologist, but you know, Reno is good in the deck, but you do need follow-up because Reno will answer a single Oasis Surger, right? And if you don't have follow-up beyond that, like a Conjurer's Calling, then they'll just be able to reload onto the board, and you're going to be back to square one, but without one of the most powerful cards in your deck.
This hand from Saiyan gets a lot better with one card, and that's Nourish. Oh, what a rip! Oh! That's the one card you're looking for.
My goodness.
Saiyan might be in trouble already. Finds the Crystal Merchant. Probably just has to play Crystal Merchant and pass.
This is gonna be...
Behold, jewels of the sun.
Druid looking real slow right now. And fr0zen has a Conjurer's Calling in hand.
He gets to roll Conjurer's Calling into Reno the Relicologist.
Do you trade to the 1/4? You go, or do you go face?
No, I think you go face. If Oasis Surger comes out, they're just trading into one of your giants.
I just want to stop the card draw, right? But
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you're just pushing so much damage, right? No, there is more merit to it. I don't want to dismiss it too early, but 8 damage is a lot.
it is a lot. You put down 31, and you have 2 threats. Something that fr0zen's thinking about right now. So the clock would be 3 turns, because even if you get 2 Mountain Giants, that's 16 damage. You still wouldn't kill them on the following turn.
What to do?
Oh, he's gonna go
What to
Seamot.
do?
So he is gonna kill it. But and he's gonna push the 8.
I like that.
That's better.
That's clever.
And if he were to get, oh no, he's not gonna kill it. Oh.
So now you trade the 1/4, right?
Yeah,
That
to
makes
protect it from Oasis, to protect the Tiamat from
Yeah,
Oasis.
'cause now both Starfall and Oasis Surger are tough situations.
Okay, I mean,
So the Divine Shield is what's interesting here. I guess it's the idea that instead of trading and making it to a 6/5, it's still a 6/6, so now Saiyan still has to pop that. So he's anticipating that Saiyan's going to make the trade for him.
but Saiyan has the opportunity to kill Mountain Giant now and put a Nubisat defender in the way of the Tiamat. So he would take 6, and then that's a much more like manageable Conjurer's Calling target. I don't know.
But he has Reno the Relicologist.
He has Reno the Relicologist, yeah. So then that's 12 damage that you can't really afford to take.
And he also has Voodoo Doll Conjurer's Calling to get past his Nubisat defender, too.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, I guess this is just safer if he Starfalls, but
I do like the Tiamat. I actually think it's really good, and
well,
I think I can get behind the Divine Shield Wind Fury.
also it's just getting by out of Elemental Evocation when otherwise, you know, he would have nothing else to do so with except for Zephyrus in his deck, which can make for some creative plays, but it's not in his hand right now.
Reno the Relicologist, though.
Woo!
10 health, 10 damage. Is there alternative? There is. We talked about the Conjurer's Calling.
Yeah.
Saiyan is so...
But if Saiyan deals with the Mountain Giant, then Frozen always has a Conjurer's Calling target with the Reno.
That's still a lot. 2 Innervates. That allows him to put out the Cenarius. Oasis Surger, Crystal Merchant instead.
Jewels of the sands.
He's desperately digging for something else. Wrath comes to his hand. That should help. So he's seen an Oasis Surger. He's seen a Starfall.
Both the Nubisats. Oh. I mean, Saiyan still has some gas to contest the board next turn. And unless you're killing Druid, because they run the double Hidden Oasis, damage doesn't necessarily stick, especially considering that Frozen has like Alexstrasza, which all of a sudden is pretty useless when your opponent's below 15 anyway. This may get a lot closer than it would seem unless Frozen gets some pretty big options with Conjurer's Calling.
Time runs out on me.
I think Frozen just really wants to push damage. Reasonable stats. Oh! More damage.
Oh, jeez.
Starfall. Starfall Wrath clears everything.
Starfall Wrath does clear everything. But now he's dead to Zephyrus. Because of the Reckless Rocketeer.
Second Starfall. This is back and forth. And the Crystal Merchant drawing another card.
If he draws Zephyrus here. Okay. So Saiyan can't stabilize. Hidden Oasis next turn. He can Innervate out. Oh, no, he can't. He's only at 9 mana. He has Cenarius. He has Hidden Oasis. He has Wrath.
Yeah, I think for Frozen, probably want to shut down this card draw source here with the Ziliax.
The future
Yeah.
is
No, but
ours.
he's just going to go for the Luna instead.
Precision. Perfection.
I guess maximum stats on the board. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Saiyan has another Wrath. Ready to go. And this Hidden Oasis. Did Saiyan find a way to turn this matchup around? Just barely. And he's drawing yet another card. TJ, the Crystal Merchants. Oh, they just keep drawing
been good.
deeper. I think that they're so important to the deck. And I think you get to see a little bit as to why that is. Unis Pocket Galaxy. Big time swings. There's still some real big stuff.
Yeah.
There's still Alex Straza.
Still Archmage Antonitis.
Doomsayer.
The end is coming!
But this is the first turn that Saiyan has the ability to get the board back.
Feoris comes to the hand. Oasis Searcher and Cenarius both can answer his Doomsayer. I don't know. This Crystal Merchant that's surviving, I think, is going to be the MVP of the match. It's so good. It just keeps drawing stuff for Saiyan to do. Without it, he would have been gassed long ago.
Ooh.
Some nice sequencing on the attacks from Saiyan. That was the only way he had that actually gave him a face damage.
Control tech.
Yeah.
Any steal is good, is pretty good. That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
At this point, I think fr0zen said he's drawn enough cards. I don't really, you know what? He's going to have all the cards in the world.
Yeah.
Feoris.
I do have to wonder if what this game would look like if fr0zen had used Conjurer's Calling earlier
On the Giant?
on the
Instead
Giant.
of the Siamat?
Instead of the or even the turn after that, like value trading into the Anubisat Defender. But that's such a clean Reno. I'm not saying I dislike fr0zen's play. I'm just trying to picture like if he could have been like even more aggressive with the Conjurer's Calling. That 5 health stat line across the board is crucial because of the Flame Strike in
The
hand.
fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Looking for a Blizzard. Finds a Polymorph. Polymorph is interesting. Helps him deal with some of the threats on the board.
But not all of them. Flame Strike doesn't deal with all of them too. He played Caligos, which means that he can't ping. But Polymorph plus a trade onto the Baleful Banker at least lets him minimize some of the damage on board.
5, 10, 16. 16 plus 12 is 28 with Zephyrus plus Swipe is lethal. Saiyan just won this game.
Yeah. I mean, 16 just from Bloodlust, which is 15 on the board.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I can always count Savage because it's usually slightly more efficient for mana because then you can do other stuff.
Yeah.
This is my suggestion.
There's the
That's
Bloodlust.
going to do it. What a reversal. I was expecting fr0zen to make that comeback once the Giant hit the board. Saiyan just surviving long enough and also drawing so many more cards.
That seemed like Saiyan was going to get run over very quickly in that game.
Yeah, and I think based off the way that the options were available, I think that there's a lot of analysis to be done on that game. You know, I think that I'm on the fence. I like to see him up play. I actually think his Conjurer's timing was perfectly fine. I do want to put it on the Giant, though, because I know how hard Druid has a time dealing with Grave Horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I think I could go either way. Overall, it looked good to me the way things were initially panning out, but I think one of those things that you were trying to emphasize is you just want to land Conjurer's Calling on the Giant and not the 6-drops. 6-drops are much more easy to deal with.
They are much easier to deal with, yeah. And it did give him, like, Conjurer's Calling on the Reno and then subsequently the, what was it, Archmage or Broodmother, did allow him, like, a 1-outer of Zephyrus for lethal because he was at 6. which may not have existed in a world where he conjures calling the giant. But I feel like, maybe his pressure's more in that situation. But, that goes to show you that just some slight adjustments in mana to cards in the deck completely changes the landscape of that matchup, where Luna's Pocket Galaxy at 5 and Conjur's Calling at 3. Like, if he had Conjur's Calling at 3, of course he's going to do it on the Giant, because he goes Giant, Conjur's Calling, Coin, Conjur's Calling. Now he has 3 Giants on the board, and you never get back from that spot. And that's what was happening before those Priest nerfs, and that's why Druid was kept so much in check. He would have never had an opportunity to get to that point. So, but now, fr0zen gets to flex again with the Mage and go up against the Priest matchup.
This is almost a carbon copy of what happened yesterday with fr0zen up against Bloody Face.
Yeah.
Where he started with the Highlander Paladin, got the win, and was able, and then followed with Reno Mage versus the Druid, lost there, followed by Reno Mage versus Priest, and he just absolutely slam dunked the Priest.
Is someone injured?
That curve, though. Sand.
It's real good. fr0zen does have Mossy Horror. He also has Witchwood Piper, which has that 50-50 chance of pulling Zephyrus from the deck.
Giant. That cost 5 next turn.
But you do need a lot of tools.
Yeah, and the one thing that Sand lacks are spells.
Oh, this would be a cool use.
You coin nerfs the Ritualist. I like this. Position declare the Pyromancer in the middle, so that way he can keep it outside of ping range. I think that was good because Sand's hand needed spells and he found a way to unlock it with the Neverset Ritualist.
Engaging TC 130 until dislocated.
Steals the Cleric, so the card draw source has been cut off. I wonder how big that is.
Well, with Sand pick up Circle of Healing with Wild Pyromancer on the board, seems pretty big. But fr0zen not out of the woods yet. Still a turn before Mossy. Doesn't have Zephyrus yet, but could pick it up. Has some freezes to stall. Has Arcane Keysmith, which can be a way to stall as well.
I must consider.
Because of just how difficult it can be for Priest to check into some of the secrets like Spellbender. And just like respect for Flame Ward.
Hey, I got you, friend.
This fr0zen just want to go for the Giant here. Seems good to me.
Yeah.
Sets up for a really good Mossy Hard if Sand just chooses to ignore it.
Yep. There's always that, feeling in the back of your head when you make a play like this that doesn't impact the board at all of, do I die? At 24, it would be a lot of combination of things for him to die. He has 6, 7, 8, 9
Must consider.
damage on board. It would have been 7, and then a Divine Spirit Inner Fire would have been 12, so he'd be safe from that. It would have to be double Divine Spirit Inner Fire.
Circle of Healing could get use for the cards that he currently has, but you gotta think if you're Sand, how do you best handle a Reno Jackson? Reno the Relic College is one of the cards that I regularly think about when I go up against Reno Mage. Going to 6. So he counts, he revives with a 3-2, and the fact that that Injured Blade match is at a 4-9 is such a big deal.
And since that's the case, I wonder what So it would leave up the 3-1, the Wild Pyraments, and the 4-9. He could kill off the 3-1 and leave 7 power on board, but he'd be dead to Divine Spirit Interfire.
Yeah, he could instead play Ziliax and Ray of Frost. That's also a different alternative. Right now, it seems like Sane is fairly all in. And so if you trade the 8 into the 2-6, Ziliax the 3-1, and Ray of Frost the 4-9.
What to do?
I think that's okay. And like, yes, Ziliax might like die to like a Pyromancer AoE, but he's also somewhat weakening his own board.
Yeah. You can also go Witchwood Piper, double Ray of Frost. But Witchwood Piper has a chance of failure right now because it could hit Doomsayer.
Right,
instead of the Zephyrus.
Time runs out on me.
Because he does have the opportunity to element the Invocation Zephyrus following turn. So I think Ziliax is just a safer line.
I wonder if you actually, you kill the 3-1 just to remove more power on board.
Killing the Wild Pyromancer does leave the Wild Pyromancer at 1, and if you played a spell, it would kill the 3-1 off as well. So Sane would have to invest a health buff into the Wild Pyromancer and pre-trade the 3-1 anyway? I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that it leaves you just to trade on the board.
Yeah, it lets your Mountain Dry die on board. But maybe you're okay with all those trades? Maybe not, because the Injured Blade Master is the #1 threat on the board right now, because it doesn't die to Mossy. And it's obviously the highest on target.
I wanted my Mountain Giant to survive.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe Frozen's just in the removal plan.
Yeah.
Although Frozen looks pretty stressed. I think maybe he's just contemplating, like, that reality where it's like, oh, I might have actually just given up my Mountain Giant. And then I can't deal with this 4-9 as much anymore.
I mean, there's a lot on the line here. With a win here for Fr0zen, he all but locks in for seed. There's only like one permutation that doesn't.
Quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I need this Giant to survive to kill this 4-9 of some capacity. But there's always the possibility, like Arcane Keysmith, or you just pick up Voodoo Doll, or you just pick up Polymorph. Oh, Saiyan is all in. Wow. Okay, Frost Nova. Oh! No. Wait. Yes.
What, Dan? What?
So Witchwood Piper gets either
Doomsayer or
Zephyrus or
Zephyrus.
Doomsayer. You get Doomsayer, you Ray of Frost.
And you Doom. Yep. There's a silence.
Yeah.
Saiyan runs 2 silences.
Look alive, Fr0zen. Slapping his own face. Intense stuff.
But this is a good position for Fr0zen. Tortolan Pilgrim, decent chance of hitting Blizzard at this stage. Has Frost Nova as well. Mossy Horror if an Amet turn comes out. Or Blonsomdi into something. Still has a Polymorph in his deck. Arcane Keysmith into Vaporize could help him kind of isolate one minion.
Like to play with fire?
Not out of the woods yet, but
Book of Specters, is there possibilities I could hit him? If he hits Zephyrus, he has 4 mana remaining. He can Polymorph or Hex the 4/18. With Saiyan having no cards in hand, I think Fr0zen might feel more comfortable going for
I wonder.
exactly that. I think Arcane Keysmith here is a little bit weak because you don't guarantee the secret. So I think he has to Book of Specters to Zephyrus. Sandbinder.
Sandbinder can't find Zephyrus.
Okay.
There's also Siamot still left in the deck as well. So not guaranteed.
Sandbinder, Evocation, Zephyrus. That gives you 2 mana. 2 mana is not enough removal because you can't execute the 4/18.
What to do? What to do?
Wait.
Runs out on me.
No. Because if you execute the 4/6, you still die to an Inner Fire top deck. Vaporize.
But he has the check.
I think you ping the 4/18. 4/5. It's better for Flame Ward. Is that an Inner Fire?
Divine
No,
Spirit!
Divine Spirit.
I think Inner Fire or Topsy there was lethal through a Flame Ward. Because you'd attack with the Wild Pyromancer first to test for Vaporize. It would bring the second Injured Blade Master down to 15. You could heal it up Topsy and be exactly 21. Oh no, even the Wild Pyromancer damage would go through Flame Ward, so. But fr0zen has Sandbinder into potential Zephyrus next turn. If he does, he could just Frost Nova. Oh.
I wonder.
So if Sam pushes 8, he brings him down to 13. If he heals and Divine Spirits the injured Blade Master, he has 2 avenues for lethal.
Okay, I buy it.
Because it would bring it up to 14 health. So that way, if he draws Polymorph, you still have 1 big minion on the board that you can use.
Yeah.
So I feel like you load up the Divine Spirit on the other injured Blade Master. I guess you could hold it, and it's still the same.
Oh my goodness! Polymorph to 418. Sandbinder draws the Zephyrus. Wait, he's not out of the woods yet.
There's an Inner Fire or a Topsy for lethal. Inner Fire or Topsy for lethal.
If he evocates, is there anything he can get in this specific situation? That is an Inner Fire!
Yep.
Saiyan is going to be able to get the runner.
Oh, jeez.
fr0zen had an opportunity to go for a Frost Nova, and dying with a handful of some of your most powerful cards always has to feel bad. An unlikely scenario has fallen Saiyan's way. And a huge victory, honestly. Wow, what a turn of events.
Yeah. Pretty insane. Pretty insane.
Yeah.
So we had 3 outer there. I mean, 2 Inner Fires left in the deck, plus a Topsy left
How
in the
many
deck.
cards were left?
15-ish. So 1 in 5-ish chance to win. fr0zen died with a Frost Nova in hand.
Yeah, he could have Frost Nova'd and done something else, saved the Polymorph, or he could have
As
played.
soon as he hits the Zephyrus from Sandbinder, he could Frost Nova, but then he dies to... Oh, no, he doesn't die to Silence Inner Fire. No. Because Silence Inner Fire would bring it down to 7 health, so he would have had 11 damage instead of 13.
Yes, and if you Polymorph bump and then you play Zephyrus, I think it allows you to kill that. It's hard to say, but either way, that was, I think, a situation where we have to go back and review it. In the meantime, we're going to check in with justsaiyan, who's able to grab a hard-fought victory, 2-1. Saiyan, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. I think we finally did it. We finally saw you exclaim.
Did you?
There was a lot of build up to that because I played Mage versus Priest probably about 30 times yesterday, and there was this this row of games where I was practicing versus Blastoise, and he went like coin Zephyrus backstab the Light Warden like 5 times in a row, and I was going crazy. I was like, he can't keep having it, you know. And then yeah, so I'm super relieved to get this win. Oof.
Gotcha. Well, that puts you at 9 wins, the only player that has 9 wins in the entire division and gained that lead. Does it mean a lot to you to get that spot? Because it looked like you were uncontested for first for a while in division, and then it kind of started slipping away. Was that affecting your mentality at all?
Well, yeah, Dan, you took a week off, and then things went south for me. So the correlation is there. I think it's just
you just need me to cast all your matches. Is that what's going on?
Well, I mean, I played better because I got someone to impress, you know? So it's like...
TJ!
You didn't want to impress Soddle?
You don't care about it.
You didn't want to impress Soddle? He's like one of the most critical people.
We are Saiyan brethren, okay?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan, whatever ascension you are. What form are you, Saiyan? Are you Super Saiyan 2?
I'm just Saiyan actually with the black hair.
Ah,
so
you're right.
It's
powered down. That's right. What happens if you win the global finals? What are you gonna do with your hair?
I mean, if I make it to the finals, I think through playoffs, then we dye it again. We see what happens. So maybe this time around it's better than a top 8. This time around, maybe I don't throw by not playing the Hagatha scheme, I think.
Well, but just by qualifying to the global finals, you've already made top 8. because there's only 8 players.
Fair enough.
Right. Well,
yes. Right now he's in his base form, and when every stage he progresses further, he's going to power up, and then when he wins, he'll die at white because he's achieved Ultra Instinct. Isn't that right, Saiyan?
That's the plan.
Okay, cool. I mapped it out for you. PR consulting is done for your brand. All right, congratulations, Saiyan. You play again tomorrow
against Monsanto.
I play against Monsanto.
Yeah.
If you get the win there, you're guaranteed first place in your division, I believe. So that's it from us. Thanks for stopping by. See you tomorrow.
Wait. Who passes me up?
He's guaranteed right now.
Wait, what's the...
oh, you're right.
You're guaranteed right. So Bloody Face Ken Taiyun wins at 9, but because you beat fr0zen, you got the 8 points from the tiebreaker. Your head-to-heads against him is 1-1, and there's no way that he could catch you because your same wins are.
TJ has a lot of notes that he's writing down to keep track of all stuff. So it's very fluid.
Yeah, and Bloody Face plays against Zalay, and so even if he beats Zalay, because Zalay has so few wins, he would only gain 4 tiebreaker points, so nobody can pass Saiyan. So,
but what I said is also true.
Yes, if you win
tomorrow, you are guaranteed first place.
You clinch it again.
I'll still try my best tomorrow. I thought I had it locked in, so it was just.
You do.
Thank you for the confirmation, TJ.
You do. Congratulations, Saiyan. First seed. Very nice.
Thanks for asking, just so that we don't gloss over that fact. Well, congratulations on first place. How about this victory speech? You ended first place in your division. What do you want to say, Saiyan?
Everyone else just give Muzzy your energy. We want Muzzy to go 2-0 again. I think he's had like a rough 1-1 streak for like the longest time. So I'll be doing test games with him, working out exactly how we can get that last win in, and then it's off to Greece for the prep group. So that's probably it from the Radiance boys, I'd say.
Cool. Wow. With his entire speech and the whole world paying attention, he goes and focuses on his teammate. What a guy.
What a guy.
What a guy. All right, Saiyan, we'll see you tomorrow for your match against Monsanto. Congrats on the victory.